Hello everyone, myself Vijay Kumari, working as an assistant professor in Department of CSE, Raja Institute of Technology, Hassan. So welcome to the video. So in this video we are going to discuss the data structure programs. So prescribed by the VTU. So there are 12 programs for this lab. So first we need to understand the objectives of the course here. So this laboratory which enables a student to get a practical experience in design, develop, analyze, implement and evaluation of a dynamic memory management, a linear as well as a non-linear data structures. Basically, here we are using as a memory allocation functions like malloc, free functions, realloc function. So we are going to identify the allocate memory for the structures which we are defining as well as a strings. So as we know, basically there are different data structures. One is a linear and a non-linear. In a linear, we are going to discuss about the stacks, queues as well as a list. And in a non-linear data structures, we are implementing some applications using a trees and graphs. And all these programs have been implemented in C programming language as well as a Linux operating system. So let's go to the first program. So as he mentioned, we need to declare a calendar which consists of 7 elements. The 7 elements, that is what the dynamically created array. That's why the memory allocation is dynamic. So to represent the 7 days of a week, each element of an array in a structure having a 3 fields. The 3 fields are the day, that is the dynamically allocated string, and the second field is the date of the day which we are taking, and the third element is a activity which we are going to perform on that particular day. So we need to implement this program by using a three functions. We need to create three functions: create, read as well as a display functions. So here we need to get all 7 days activity details as an output here. So let's move to the program. So as we know, all the program begins with a standard stdio.h as well as a stdlib.h. As we know, this stdio.h, which includes your standard input output library functions like printf as well as the scanf, and the standard lib, which includes your standard library which provides the functions like malloc, that is for a free for the dynamic memory allocations. So here we are defining a structure with a name called day. So this structure day, which is having a three members, one is a day name, the date as well as an activity. The day name we are defining as a pointer to a string for the day's name. It's a pointer variable, and the day is an integer to store the date, and the character activity is a pointer to a string for the day's activity. So next we need to create this by using a create a function here. So in a create function, so you see we are using the malloc functions. So as we know, allocates a memory for the day name and the activity strings. So we are using these two as the malloc functions to allocate the memory for the day name variable as well as an activity, a member of a structure. So similarly, so we are creating a function that is a read as well as a display functions here. So in a read function, so where we are iterating over the array of a day structure. So the array of a day structure is iterating and calls a create function to populate the, that is each element with a user. Means we are calling this create function within the read function, because for every day we need to enter these three details, that is a day, the date as well as a particular activity. That's why we are performing a iteration here. So next is a display function. We'll see the execution simultaneously. So in a display function, so which displays the details of each day which is stored in the calendar array. Because the calendar array we saw, we are calling that in a read function. In a read, we are again iterating a create function here. So here you can see print, that is we need to enter until the size value reaches a 7, because we are declaring from a 0 to 6. If you are taking an array, so it is a 0 to 6. So until it reaches a size 11, so it will be iterating. So where what it is displaying? It is displaying a day name, that is, and we are displaying a date in terms of a day, month as well as a calendar, that is a DD, MM as well as a YY. So here similarly the printf activity, so we are calling this activity to display. This display function is used to display all the values which we read with a calendar pointer variable. So next is a free memory function. So as we know, this frees the dynamically allocated memory for each day name and activity in the calendar array. So this free memory function which will be used for the dynamically allocated memory will be freed because it's a dynamically, so that the next variable can make use of it memory. So next come to the main part of the program. There is a main function here. So this main function you can see, which as here just we need to enter the number of days in a week, there is a 7 days, and again we are calling a day because the calendar which stores all your structured data. So because which allocates the memory for this array, that is a memory allocation which we do using a malloc, and checks if the memory allocation was successful, right? Then function calls your read function, so which will be used to implement to input the data, display to output the data, and free memory for the release the allocated data. So similarly we are using a free calendar which allows the memory will be freed for the calendar which has been allocated array itself. So when we execute this program, so we need to get all the complete data with an execution. Now we will see the execution. So I'm using online compiler to show the output. So here we have written the program. So you are able to see that is the structure day. We are use the create function, the read function, display function, as well as a free memory function in a main program. Now we start executing the program. So now we need to enter the number of days in a week. I will enter 7 days in a week. We start from a day, that is in Monday. So the date format will be, if I take Monday, today is a 7, so I will take Monday as a 5. We need to use a space because as we are using an online compiler. So here month is 8 2024. Enter then activity. I can write internal assessment. It will ask for details for the day 2. I will type as a Tuesday. The date will be 6/8/2024. Activity, I can write IA2. Day for the, I can write Wednesday. The date is 7. Lab internals, day 4. The date may be 8/8. Can give any specific activity, any sports day. Okay. Day 5, I'll give Friday. Days 9/8. Marks verification. day 6. Name I will take as a Saturday. Activity 10, 8. Enter the day, Sunday. Date. Sorry, I taken activity as Sunday. Sorry, you can write Sunday. Right here the date is 11/8/2024. Activity for the days rest day. Now we can see the complete output, that is here day 1 what we did with the date, internal assessment, all the 7-day details. Okay, so this is an execution of a first program. So we will meet in the next video with the second program explanation. Thank you.